So there's this idea in playing board games. We've got a very, very focused experience, this narrative. And I define the narrative as a rule set. Naturally, I want that rule set to be really tight, really dynamic, but it needs to just pull you into the game. There are some games out there that the rules are okay. They're about average, but they really, really hit perfectly what the gaming experience is trying to convey. So this idea of the narrative, the reason why you're playing that board game, that snapshot, while the components, the artwork, the dice, the cards, the miniatures, the standees, perhaps even the box itself, setting up and taking down, supports that narrative. And one of the things that is very, very important, let's talk about and explore the idea of board gaming maps. Now, ideally, I'm playing my board game and I like to step back for a moment. Could be Zombicide, Invader. Lots and lots of invaders flooding the table. I step back for a moment and I look at the game and I'm pulled into that moment. It's like a snapshot in time. The map is the framework. One of the things that we see that I think really defines a good map, and this is kind of bad board game design, the map needs to do two things. And the map could be a play area. This could be a fixed map, literally a classic board, or it could be a map that is built of pieces and components, hexes, grids, as you explore out. The first, of course, is the artwork itself. If I'm exploring a dungeon, if it's a type of dungeon board game, I want the map, I want the tiles to reflect that. I want it to reflect the different rooms. If I'm playing a space-based game and I'm flying through different planets and galaxies, I want the map to reflect that. I should be able to immediately look at the map and get a feeling from it. Now, if we step back a few paces, the map needs to be able to convey the focus, the image, from a variety of different angles and the players that you're playing. If I have to get up really close to see the effects of that tile or to see what's going on, that's not good design. Now, we're going to put artwork to the side for a moment. I will say that artwork should support the map. That's a personal taste. Some like very technical maps, some like kind of a more cartoon type color. Generally speaking, in terms of colors, I like maps that are a little bit brighter and pop a lot more. Because again, we've got 5 or 6, 7 players sitting around it. I want it to pop. Now, the map is the actual definition of the play area. And what we have is a number of boundaries. These could be hexes, they could be squares, it could be just parts and pieces that are defined. That needs to be well done. If we talk about kind of the classic dungeon crawl where you've got squares, you overlay the boundaries of those squares over the map. If the lines are too thick and it pops too much, you're literally going to slice and dice up the artwork, and I might as well just play on a dry erase map or just kind of a standard hex map. But at the same time, if it's not bright enough, if it's not done well enough, it bleeds into the background of the map, and I'm looking at this and saying, where do the monsters move? How do they move? Where the heck are my characters? It needs to be this kind of synergy of the two. So in terms of good board game design, when I look at the various games that support this narrative, I want the artwork, I want the definition of the map to really, really pop and support the rules, support the narrative. I want to feel like I'm in that moment. And at the same time, the grid lines, the markers, the boundaries, they need to be well enough defined that I instantly know how to move, or if I step back, I know where things are. But at the same time, not so thick and so well defined that it takes away from that narrative.